Oh man. What's up, everybody? Happy
Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Oh my gosh, it's so lovely. I know it's September 30th, and we're excited because behind us is one of my good friends, producer and director Brian, who has agreed to direct and produce our podcast as we just want to take things to the next level.
Rebranding.
Yeah, rebranding. I'm sure as most people know, especially like if your parents and so forth, like consistency, anything outside of your day-to-day is really challenging. And so we have not been consistent or disciplined enough to do this shit like every single month. However, we have planned on doing it.
When's the next podcast? We can't wait. When's the next podcast? And I say, well, life happens, but we're getting back to it.
Yeah. So, I tapped into Brian because, as you'll see, I have a bunch of scripts here. These are different drafts. Shameless plug because I have a short film that is currently being. And the man behind the camera directed it. It's called I Am a Goddamn Comedy Writer. It is it's proud. Amazing. I wrote it, executive produced it, and acted in it. And then but Brian to me really is the real star because I took it to him first and he took me through a master class. So, again, anybody that has dreams, go for it. It doesn't matter how young, how old, what stage. It's just been a 3-year journey for me as a writer, and now we're submitting to film festivals, and I think people will be pleasantly surprised. Okay. And then also, shameless plug, my baby has been working on her product for 3 years. 3 years, December 2020.
Body care line.
I have not used any body care products in the last 3 years but hers, and I think I'm still beautiful and handsome.
Of course you are.
As well as my wife. So
we have our beauty bars, our body washes,
what are we looking?
Body scrubs.
Why are those colors pink and green?
Because I have my body care line for the AKs.
Oh, okay.
Definitely have it for the Jack and Jill moms.
Okay, the bougie ladies.
The bougie ladies.
Yeah,
have an HBCU line as well too. So of course you can see the FAMU products here.
Okay, all right. And where will people be able to, I know there's going to be a October launch or November launch. Where will people be able to find these beautiful products?
At BelizeLushBody.com. Okay. That's the website. And I have a variety. And the original collection as well too that can be for any woman. And men, you can buy for your ladies and your moms and all that stuff too. Yeah. So we've been working, we've been hustling, we've been grinding. Man, it's good to have this because again, we talk about growth and one of the things, sometimes people often say, I'm not getting to where I need to get into. And, I told Michelle, I was like, we need to reinvest in our, not only, our individual businesses, but our collective business in this podcast. And, we have no idea where this podcast is going to go. Like, we're just having fun. But people keep asking us about it. Shout out to the 200 or 300 downloads that we got, which I'm excited about because, we just kind of, But people like it.
Yeah, people like it.
They're like, I'm learning something. It's fun.
Yeah.
They like us.
Yeah, they like you. They don't. They don't like me. As beauty and the beast.
I say I'm the beauty and you're the brains. I don't call you a beast. I call you the brains.
Be a thug.
Okay.
So look, our son just turned 13, and so shout out to Caden. And so I told him we have this thing called Man's Club where it's like now he's the little man, I'm the grown man, and we went to dinner 2 weeks ago. And had our first Man's Club where he had his root beer, I had my beer, and it was just so amazing because I was like, look man, you can ask me anything that you want to ask me, I promise I will answer it. And this he's like,
be a fly on the wall.
You didn't need to, but of course I came back and recorded. But initially he asked me like, well, Dad, what did you and your friends do during the summer? So I broke it down to like how we was outside drinking water from the water hose, stuff like that. And then he was like, okay, I have one more question. And then after one more question, he just kept asking questions for like a whole hour. So it was such like an innocent, endearing moment. But the number one rule that I told my guy, I was like, look, no snitching, meaning no running back to mom. You know what I'm saying? You can't be an informant to mom. So like if I tell
we have our own relationship. So he comes to me as necessary too.
When he wants to get look, Michelle.
Don't talk about my book.
Michelle. So we have this dynamic, and I'm sure a lot of parents can relate to this. And it was like that with my parents. They would get into arguments because my dad would say, Helen, stop babying the boy. You don't know what it's like out here, you know, in these streets and blah blah blah. And my mom might say like, you know, F you Pat, you know what I'm saying? That's my son, blah blah blah. Now don't get it twisted. Mom will pop off at me too. But they had good balance because women are inherently nurturers, right? Yes. And so we had that good balance too. But I'm always like, babe, stop babying the boy.
And I don't like when he says that.
She hates it.
I hate it.
She hates it.
Because that's my baby. That's my child. I'm going to do that for forever.
And that's my baby. That's my child too. But so one of the things I try to explain to her is that, you know, as black men, like once he hit 6th grade, he automatically became a threat to just everybody. And so like, I just believe as black men, you have to have, you can't be sensitive. That doesn't mean you can't be sensitive about life or be vulnerable in certain situations, but you know, you have to understand that the world is not in your favor.
And that's why I feel like I have to love him harder. Right? I gotta love him through. No, seriously.
No, I get that.
And that's what mothers do, because you're correct. When he goes out in the world, I'm not gonna be there. You're not gonna be there. We hope that what we teach him carries through and he makes great decisions. Yeah. But in the moments that it doesn't, he makes a mistake or something comes and attacks him, we gotta love him through that still, while still giving him life lessons.
It depends on the situation, because like
I'm gonna love him through
again. I don't want him being sensitive to the point where it's like, hey man, just toughen up, like get right, like especially in this situation where he messed up, and even if he didn't mess up, because you know, and it's not just his generation, it's like even our generation. Like I know a lot of black men that are just like overly sensitive. When things happen and they quit, they give up, they don't know how to maneuver.
No, I don't want him to do
you have
that.
To have, to an extent, like I'm a sensitive person. You all know I'm a very emotional person.
Very.
But I'm not sensitive to the point where I can't handle what's thrown at me.
So I get your point, and I'm a female and I'm not a boy. But my mother raised me to be balanced as well. So my mom was tough on me. She was, because she wanted me to survive as a woman, not need a man, take care of myself, all that stuff. But the little mistakes I made, she still loved me through that. After the punishment came, after the lecture and the lesson.
Michelle's so perfect.
But I got the love on the end as well too. You gotta have that balance.
Hey, this is gonna be a whole segment.
It is.
So look, I always tell her, and this is real. And I always say the difference between somebody like myself or Brian walking out the door and somebody like yourself walking out the door is I always like, I ask a lot of black women in particular, like, have you ever been stopped by the police? I'm not talking about for no ticket or nothing like that, but ever been stopped by the police, blah, 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 or had to really interact with the police where you felt like things could go all the way left. And so majority of you all
will say no.
What have not, and that's fine. I mean, actually, that's not a bad thing.
Let me tell you how it translates.
No, so listen, let me finish. So, my thing with Kay, like with Jalen, my daughter, I didn't have to. I mean, I still gave her the talk, but I didn't have to worry about that with her. With him, I have to worry about that. Like my whole thing is like.
But women will get the police called on them by other women, by white women. That's how we still get into those situations. But if there's no white women, if that happened to me in fam.
I get that, but if there's no white women around, if there's nobody around, and you just walking down the street, police ain't stopping you, pulling you over, making you sit on the curb, searching your pockets. Right, you're not seeing it as a threat. Like that happened to me since 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, here we go again. So again, how he responds to that, it depends on how he comes home, or just the simple things. The teacher just being hard on him, like I say, like you're in 7th grade, a teacher's not gonna baby you anymore. So look, man, like get yeah, no, I know, but get tough, get tight, like so yeah. I mean, those are just the dynamics. It's a beautiful thing, and it's always gonna be that way. I'm always gonna say, don't baby him, and then Michelle gonna cut her eyes at me, and then
baby him anyways,
and then make me suffer later. But no, so it's just amazing that he's 13 and just watching him grow. He got a little fuzz under his little lip now. You know what I'm saying?
Under his lip, on top of his lip,
whatever. Well, yeah, mine's on here, but no. He has a
he's growing up.
He has a potential romantic love interest. So. I've been trying to give him the game, a little bit, and so this still 13. So this is what I had to get at, and Brian, you don't have to cut this into a segment. So this is last year, or maybe the year before. My son, my man, my road dog, you know what I'm saying? He says to me in front of Michelle, he says, "Dad, did you ever have anybody? Was there anybody ever before Mom?"
You dated anybody?
And I'm sitting there like, bro, like, why would you ask me that?
And I'm like,
so initially, like most men, I was like, oh well, I hit the Stevie J. And I said, And I was like, I knew I had a couple seconds.
Yeah.
And I said, nah, not since 6th grade. I had to lie to my man. And it was, but
that's okay. I'm gonna tell him the truth.
But
when he get a little older, when he can understand something a little bit better, I'm gonna get him the
My wife already started snitching on me at dinner 2 nights ago. Because talking about, oh, well, let me tell you about your daddy. Your daddy, you know.
Oh, it's because you tried to put me out first. Yes, you did. Anyways.
I was just telling him, because Kaden was like, well, why didn't you guys get together earlier? And I was like, because your mama was tripping.
Yeah, I was tripping because of all the antics.
But that's all I said.
But we can move on from that.
That's all I said though. And then here come Michelle wanting to get details of, you know, I was like,
what details? I didn't share the details with Kaden. I just reminded you of your details that you was trying to shy away from.
My answer is, if anybody asked me, was there anybody before Michelle? No, not since my girlfriend in 6th grade, whoever she was. I don't even remember.
That's right.
You know, I'm threatened. So yeah, like, I mean, we just been, you know, enjoying life. You know, trying to figure it out. So one of the other things that I find interesting in the dynamic of my wife and I, which is ultimately, look, my wife is the boss. It's not it's not too many things that I, you know, it's amazing. I'm grown, I'm older, but I have to ask my wife for permit. Like, you know, can I wear my hair? Like, my hair, I have twists in my hair. It's all over the place. So I got this hat on, but like, I'm like, babe, like, let me just wear my hair out, like, you know, like it's perm, like, get my Draco on. Nope.
Because it doesn't look good like that. You've had braids for how many weeks now? I mean, and it has the oil and the natural. No,
you know what I'm saying? Once you wash it, it made me look like a little Puerto Rican Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Hello, mommy. You say, hey, papi. You know what I'm saying?
No, papi.
So, you know, my wife pretty much, I feel like, controls everything in my life. But so there's certain songs that I love. You know what I'm saying? That I love since I was day one. So, like, for example, DMX, like, what these bitches want from a nigga.
Yeah. What they want from you?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
But it's a song. You know what I'm saying?
But you sing it with so much conviction.
Yeah, because
like
DMX. Rest in peace. Don't we all sing? Don't we all sing songs? Brian, don't you hear songs? And sing a song.
He ain't in this.
Did you go to the Drake concert and when Drake started, you was you know what I'm saying?
Focus. We talking about you.
But music has that power. So when DMX started, like, I had. That don't have nothing to do with me. It's just like, what? And you see it like that they've used that for viral moments. Women have used that to whatever. It's just a great song. It's just a song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or like that song with Tila, A-Ball, and whatever. It's like Holes in the Club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I be like, And then she looking at me. It's a slew of songs that I can.
Showing love.
In the club, shaking that ass.
Yeah, that's what they doing. That's what they doing.
It's a song. And you was probably dancing to that song because we was both in Tallahassee at the same time.
So how about if I start singing songs?
And you start singing Trina.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a song. Yeah, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying?
What other songs can't you not sing, Aaron?
I don't know. So I basically have been censored in my ability to just be free.
You know what? That's cool. I'm gonna uncensor you.
Nah.
Go ahead and sing what you want to sing.
No.
Go ahead.
And Brian, what you think?
See? Go ahead. Go ahead. Sing what you want to sing.
You got my dog like.
No, you got him like that.
I'm just asking. Like,
he's shaking his head like he ain't in it. He's doing his job.
I'm trying to get it's another male perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool though. It's cool. Like, you know, my wife she just doesn't play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sleep with one eye open.
Now, see,
I live in fear.
I keep telling you, I'm not gonna hurt you because, for one, I don't want to hurt you. I love you. Two, I'm not going to jail for nobody.
See, that's the main thing. She said,
I am not going to jail for nobody.
Listen, if your wife start listening to these killer podcasts where they talk about the forensics,
sisters who kill.
See, and every time I come home or every time I walk around the corner, I peep like, oh, she watching one of those shows. Because in my mind, I'm like,
what, like Snap?
Like, I feel like you know a lot. You be like, oh, they should have done it that way. That's why they got caught.
Yeah, because I wanted to be a lawyer at one point in time. So, you know, that's where that comes from. Because I'm still intrigued by the crime and the murder.
If I go missing, you know what I'm saying?
Don't check. No, it's not going to happen.
And then she start booking flights off my insurance policy. You know what I'm saying? No.
I'm not doing that to you, love. Don't worry about that.
Okay, why? Because you don't want to get caught?
Because I love you.
Because you love me?
And I'm not going to jail for nobody. I'm not doing it. And too many people gonna miss you and all that. You know, I'm not gonna do that to them folks. I ain't gonna do that.
I don't know anybody that miss me. You know, but it's
What you mean?
I don't know if the word would miss me. Just you.
Oh,
just you.
stop.
Maybe Kaden. Maybe Brian.
Mama and daddy.
You know what I'm saying? Like
all the women on the female family chat I'm a part of. They gonna miss you too.
That's another thing.
That's another thing that that you're jealous of.
I just feel like so. My wife is really dope, and she has galvanized just through her presence, her energy. Like for some reason, when Michelle came back into my life. Like my mom told me she was like, baby, I don't worry about you anymore. I'm like, Mom, you didn't have to worry about me before.
I take care of you.
But you know, my mom might have had this perception that I was in the streets a little bit, and it was just it was just wrong. But so
your mom was wrong. Let me call Mama up right now.
But part of the reason why my mom does not worry about me, and my dad for that matter, is because like they see I have this woman that protects me, and so with that being said, like I have cousins that live here. You know, all over the country, and I have not seen them prior to 2020. I probably had not talked to them. Yeah, I probably had not seen them or talked to them in like 10 years. And all of a sudden, this woman comes into my life. I see him all the time, which is a good thing.
Amazing.
I hear from them all the time, which is a good thing. But now they have this basically affinity group, and I'm not in it. When they talking about family shit, and I'm like, wait a minute.
The women in the family.
These are my cousins.
Mind you, and your mom and your aunts, and mind you, they're all Deltas for the most part. I'm the only AKA, and they granted me permission and access. It's all love, and you're a hater.
Nah, it's just, I just like what y'all be talking about.
You sometimes, yeah.
But I need to know.
No, you don't.
I need input.
No, you don't. No,
like, I should be like, it should be some notes.
It's just family stuff. It's just keeping connected.
It's just family stuff, but I'm not part of the family. I'm not part of the
women. It's the women. We know how to congregate and get together and support and love each other. Man, and that's needed.
No, I mean it is, but I just find
after they threw me a bridal dinner, it was done after that. They were like, oh, we love this one right here. And anybody associated with her, Chanel, Priscilla, anybody, they love them all.
They say they feel like they act like my wife. And it's very my wife
act like what now?
So look, there's this thing on Instagram. Shout out to Georgia Dawkins. I did an interview with her, and the interview was about an hour long. And she was at the end. She was like, "Man, you mentioned your wife so much," but I'm like, whatever. So Georgia chops up the interview and adds a ding to it every time I mention Michelle's name, and it was about 12, 15 times.
And I think it was more than that, like 30 something times in that.
It wasn't 30, Michelle. Okay. It wasn't. See,
but each time,
that's girls hyperbole right there. Huh?
Say why?
No, I'm not saying it no more.
Why ding? It was like every other word.
So now she's excited because it's like too much power. It's too much power. My wife walks around like, you know, she can do no wrong.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I know my faults. The few I have.
I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna tell Mama what you did. She's like, go ahead and tell her.
I'll tell her for you.
Nah, your stories be slanted.
Nah, my stories is the truth.
Your stories are slanted. Your stories are slanted.
Who she gonna believe? Even if it's slanted, who she gonna believe?
You.
Exactly, because she know her child.
So I got this film that's out.
I'm super proud of you. You know that, right?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I am. Again, I want to shout out to my friend and my director, Brian, because I'm a very confident person. But through this process, I went through, as our other friend Rashawn Ali said, I had imposter syndrome, and so and this is because I'm in a new space at 45.
That's okay.
Which that part doesn't bother me. But I've done all these things in my career. A lot of them I feel like are pretty dope. But this was just something that I don't think I've ever had the discipline to pour my heart into something like I have this as a writer, as a producer, and even as an actor. And so you talk about being uncomfortable, literally studying for the last 2 years, just leaning on Brian and other people on our team. And it was the first time, honestly, in my career where I had been around people that were, I felt like, better than me at what they did and just in general. So part of it was like a relief because you can't grow if you're around people that where you're the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Brian and I, so the beautiful thing about my relationship with my director is that technically I was the mentor and then it switched to me being the mentee. But I think we both felt that energy when we were at the radio station, with the exception of maybe one or two people, that we were probably the most savvy people in that whole building. that was just frustrating in a lot of ways. And so then to be in an environment where like I'm around all these amazing creators, directors, producers, it's like, man, like can I level up with them? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to disappoint them. And I remember when I was on set, and you know, and Brian and like Carrie and they had kind of been dealing, and you had just been dealing with this Aaron's insecurities. But you know, I remember when I was on set, Rashawn called me, asked her how it was going, and then she was like, man, look around. And how many people? It was like 22 people, 23 people we had.
A lot of people.
We had, you know, and she was basically like, all these people are here for the next 2 days and getting paid, mind you. They got paid because we raised money, and I put half of it myself, like because of what you wrote. And so she was like, you know,
and they believed in you. They believed in the work, in the project.
Yeah. So another person, Jaguar Reed, shout out to him. He told me it's like it's time to stop being humble.
Yep.
So from not being an asshole, but just understand God got you here for a reason. Like no one's, if it's not good enough, if it's not dope, people aren't fucking with you.
Right.
And walk in that and embracing that. So all the shit that I've been telling people when I speak, and you know, I had to tell myself, but that's the beauty of keeping great people around you. Like they'll see you, you know, breaking or just not confident or whatever, and they'll help you build you up, or just be like, hey nigga, get it together.
Yeah, but that's what
you
you want though.
Yeah.
You know, and we talked about balance earlier. You need people who are going to come to you straight like that, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the people like me who would do the loving part, right? And they're encouraging and telling you. So Jaguar Reed Taylor and I were a part of that conversation with you.
Yeah.
And telling you got to step out of that.
Yeah.
You know, you have your fear of the unknown. This is new for you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you have people around you that are going to help you walk through that, and are going to support you. And you just got to keep moving forward with the positivity that you are where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And just walk in that and do the work.
So now, I mean, after seeing, you know, we had lasted our films up, we've been submitting to these film festivals. And like I told Brian yesterday, I was like, man, I'm like Neo from the Matrix. Like I believe, like I'm not gonna say I'm great, but I'm very good at what I do. And then, you know, even on the acting side, like, you know, I have the potential to be, you know, very good. It just really got to put in the work. I know for me, and even when I look at you, like how you've been building yourself, like it's fun to be a student of something. You know, I think the older we get, like even though, especially the more successful we get, we believe that we don't have to grow. You know, like we should be kind of given things, and it's like every year you should be learning something, rebranding yourself. You know,
pushing yourself,
not discounting those that are younger, because they could teach you things as well as you could teach them, as well as older people. I mean, anybody. I mean, you get lessons from anywhere. So, I think that's what's really been fun about this process. And so, like, it's not just about the film, but if everybody that's involved in our film all has a story, all has a journey, and it's just really amazing how, you know, God brought us together. Like I was telling Brian yesterday, I was like, man, if I don't know him and I don't send my script to him 2 years ago, some change, I'm like, then I probably have to work with a director that I don't know and I don't trust. And one thing, Taylor, I just like to say his whole name, Instagram name. But he said to me, he was like, Aaron, and this is before we filmed, he was like, do you trust your director? I'm like, yeah. He was like, so if your director came to you in the middle of a scene and just slapped the shit out you, would you slap him back? I was like, no, because it would be for a reason. I don't know why. I was like, damn, Brian, why the fuck you slap me like that?
He's saying something.
But I was like, yeah, I would just be like, what did I do? And he was like, that's how you know you got a good director and a good relationship. And that was it. And it was like, all right, cool, let's blast off and pause. We're so immature.
No, you are so immature.
Hey, Brian gets it.
Oh, okay. This is an inside joke I know nothing about.
It's a man thing. You just gotta say pause.
Cool.
Pause.
Got it. I got it.
But yeah, I mean, we were just kind of on go from there, and so now it's just cool to be in this situation where, like, you know, writing other projects and being able to work with, you know, other, you know, dope people, and you know, the writer strike is over. So that's a good thing, and you know, get the actors. You know, the actor strike is still going on, but you know, hopefully that'll end soon, and everybody can get back to eating and creating. And yeah, it's just a really to be able to create something, to see your work from the beginning, as you see right here, it's just a really dope process.
So let me say something about, since you're segueing, right?
Yes, as I said.
So I've never seen myself as an entrepreneur. You know, went to FAM, School of Business Industry, you know, raised me. We always say raised me. Yes, I am. To go work for somebody else. So in my mind it was always you go work for a company, you make your mark, you move up, move on, whatever the case may be. So my body care line is like my first entrepreneurial journey, and I am scared still, even though I think it's gonna do well.
You should be scared,
right? But I am scared because somebody's gonna say something, which is still good because then the validity in that can help me shift and improve, blah blah blah. So something that I do now, right? I watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I'm like running down all the seasons. And Aaron is like, why do you watch this?
I be like, hey, why are you watching it? And I'd be like, I can't believe she said that. And I'd be like, hey, when the reunion show?
It's not as dramatic as Love and Hip Hop or Housewives of Atlanta with the fighting and all that kind of stuff. It has its own drama, which is cool because, you know, I don't have drama in my life, so I watch other people's drama. But what I really love about all of them, especially the women on that show, is the entrepreneurial journeys and how they've grown from season to season. And that encourages me when it comes to, you know, my body care line and how I'm looking, how I'm envisioning. And every day I do something towards it. You know, the launch is coming November. Every single day I'm doing something. And I can get real anal and frustrated and mad.
Pause.
Stop.
Pause.
When things don't go as I want it to go, because that's a perfectionist in me, you know. But I'm glad for that show because it's showing Black women who are not conforming to I need to work for somebody else for quote unquote that stability, but I'm doing something I'm passionate about, and I do call this my passion project. Something I'm passionate about. I'm helping others. Well, you know, that's their perspective that they're helping others, especially Black women. And I'm like, I can do this too. It's encouraging. And I know women who have their businesses and things like that, and I do tap into that also. But I'm not just looking at this show for the drama piece, okay? I'm looking at it for the inspiration, and I think that's a well-balanced viewpoint when it comes to this show. So I'm inspired, and they're constantly doing something new, and I'm like, let me perfect this first before I move on to something else, right? But, you know, it gives me hope. Hey guys, I'm Michelle Metters, Paxton Arnold, and this is Belize Lush. This is my body care line, my passion project, and I'm so happy to introduce this to you. I have various collections. I definitely have the HBCU line here. We're showcasing FAM. Sorority line as well too. We are launching November 15th, and I'm so excited to be able to bring these body care items to you. You can find us at BelizeLushBody.com, and we're also on Instagram at BelizeLush. And again, this is something that's going to be nice, and I'm excited to bring this to the market.
So I call my wife TED Talk Michelle because
I have a TED Talk. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you. Don't just be giving me a label like I'm verbose.
No. I call you, and, you know, I mean, I haven't had a TED Talk, but you know, I've spoken all over the country.
Of course, Harvard and internationally, we got it. Yeah.
But see, the way my wife is talking to y'all now, it's not how she. Matter of fact,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute. So look, so it's funny because like we have, and I'm bouncing around. We have our 2 hoodies. It's hoodie season. So
New Jack City, Nino
which
Brown.
is a good movie, but I feel like this movie was better. It was more. It was more realistic.
No. But
this was a great.
Lords and all that back in the 80s and the 90s. That was real. The crack epidemic and all that.
Yeah. I mean, but this broke.
Don't do that.
This broke down. So, So I'm about to digress for a second. So like, okay, I already know what you're gonna say, but I know you believe this movie, your movie, New Jack City, is better than Menace to Society. Cool, and you don't have to pit them against each other.
You don't. They're both classics.
I was watching Drink Champs, and they asked Memphis Bleek, Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society. And he said, Boys in the Hood.
I said Menace to Society.
And he said because it was first. And I'm like, what?
That's it. That's the only reason.
I'm like, man.
Not the messaging. Not
man. Please. Like,
the acting. Not the feeling you get.
I'm just saying, Menace was like very real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Boys in the Hood.
All the stories are real, though.
But Menace to Society, like, Trey and Brandy went off, and Boys in the Hood, they went off to Spelman and Morehouse. That was a happy little ending. Nigga, in the end, Kane died.
Happy ending.
Kane died.
Don't say nothing.
And Sharif.
Listen, we're proponents of HBCU, so yes, Spelman and Morehouse gets love as well.
They didn't make it. And you know why Kane died? Because he was moving on Toxic Jada.
Oh, please stop.
Ronnie.
Please stop. No, that's why he died. Not because of the foolishness he was doing in the streets. Got it. Because of a woman? Wow.
Man, you know, I'm just saying, like, he just wasn't on his guard, you know. He was caught up, he was in love. He's like, I'm about to move to Atlanta with Ronnie, a.k.a. Jada, and got shot up.
Yeah, not because of what he did to old girl.
He didn't do that to old girl.
He did that to. He did.
She allegedly.
He claimed that wasn't his baby, and
he didn't even know. He said he had the Jimmy on extra tight. He wore 2 of them.
Yeah, he did. Hey,
ladies
he did.
Ladies be trying to
hit brothers up. And when it fought her cousin and barely almost killed the cousin, so they came back for him and shot him up in the yard with the baby and all that.
Did homie step to him wrong? Like, hey partner, if you walk up to somebody and say, hey partner,
but that's how they talk back then. You should know that.
That was aggressive.
You should be on your guard, of course.
Look,
but he didn't have to do him like that.
If somebody walk up to me like a partner with that aggression, I know they're trying to inflict some.
So he did what he thought was necessary, and it came back on him. What you gonna do?
I mean, the game. That's why Menace to Society was better. So, all right, I'm gonna hit you with something then. So, Love Jones or Boomerang?
Boomerang.
Love Jones right there.
Boomerang. I would not have been a fan of Love Jones. I'm probably like the only black woman that was, and I love love and all the poetry and all that stuff. Boomerang. That was it. Eddie Murphy, Halle Berry, Robin Givens, Martin Lawrence.
I don't know.
That star-studded cast and the messaging and all that about being a dog, and the boomerang is boom, it comes back to you, and that's how she got his ass. I love that part. Oh, you thought you was a player? I'm about to show you what a true player does. She got it.
I do. Can I keep going, Brian? Or do you? Yeah, I mean,
keep going if you want to.
Boomerang.
Come on, a Boomerang was funny.
Can I get a word in, please?
Messaging.
Can I get a word in? I mean, no.
Beauty industry, all of that.
Boomerang was amazing. I mean, if nothing else, it just showed, like, you know, black people, we contain multitudes, right? We're not a monolith, and so that is what I was sold when I saw Boomerang. And it's funny because growing up, it was like I wanted to be like an ad guy. So it's funny because, I
wanted to be like Robin Givens when I was graduating from film.
You were like Robin Givens when you graduated from
the
film.
Suits and the power and all that.
Yeah, you were. That's why we didn't work out early on.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'll take it.
So like, it was like Eddie Murphy. I felt his character. Like I've been hurt like that before.
Oh please.
So, like,
that's not why you felt his character, because you thought you was the
man
like him.
That's why I felt his character.
The dog.
So then we go to Love Jones, which because not only did it take place in my hometown Chicago, shout out to the South Side, but it's like, okay, here's Lorenz Tate. He's a writer. You know what I'm saying? You know, he smoked cigarettes. But I was like, it was just dope. You know, like it was just a dope ass love story showing young black love in particular. Yeah. Like I don't think we had really seen that outside of like a different world or something like that.
Jason's lyrics showed the love too.
It did, but it was a little different. Like they were trying to still, like, Lorenz Tate and Nia Long's character, like they were at a point professionally in which, like, I aspired to. Like, I ain't want to be like, oh boy, Karen. I don't want to be broke, fixing no TVs and stuff. Like, I'm not saying it was nothing wrong, but he was trying to figure that out. Like,
he was trying to figure out.
Again, we just saw a different. There's nothing wrong with that either, but
no, because that's some people's reality.
That was some people's reality. But Lorenz Tate and Nia Long's character, professionally, were at a certain level. Mm-hmm. Now, socially, they was fucked up like everybody else, trying to figure everything out. Isaiah Washington character, I like how they showed that, you know, his marriage, you know, going through things and then them coming back together. Bill Bellamy was a snake ass nigga, boy, that month. And I like Bill Bellamy too, but he was it had a lot of great characters. And I just think just what it showed, and I believe this with us. If I look at everything we've been through and how God brought us back together, like what's meant to be is going to be meant to be. Whether it's today, next year, 5 years from now, what have you. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. If I was on Drink Champs, I would have to take a shot for that one. But I tried to make a drink before that she would let me.
We're doing business right now.
But
heavy sensibilities.
All right, Woo or
please, you can say that right now is. But go ahead. What, Sprung?
No. Woo. That's another Jada Pinkett movie, right?
Yeah, it is.
Woo or what's it? Can't Buy Love or whatever. That's money. Whatever it was. Stacey Dash and Damon Wayans and them.
That's my movie too. That's not.
You can't remember the name now.
I can't remember the name of it right now. Look it up real quick. Look it up real quick. Because the song You Called and Told Me is in that.
Yeah. Marlon Wayans was in that thing too.
Was it?
Yeah, Marlon played his little brother. You know the Wayans. They put themselves.
Wait,
in the
whose
movie.
little brother? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Mo Money.
Mo Money, yeah. So,
I love Mo Money. I thought you was talking about a different movie.
No, Woo or Mo Money.
Mo Money, for certain. Woo was just a bunch of nonsense. I don't remember what it was about. It was
I just remember Jamie Foxx was good in it. He's just hilarious. But I don't know.
And Woo, you sure you're not talking about?
I don't know.
I don't think that he was in Woo.
He's starting to mess.
But Mo Money was, it was a good one too.
Okay. All right.
I know my Black Movie Night.
Do you?
You know, Instagram.
Oh, okay. Pay the full or Belly?
Belly. Especially that intro. Belly. You love Pay the Full.
I know Brian is like killing himself right now as a director. Brian.
Belly. Walking in the club was all.
Yeah, but there's more to the movie than just that part.
Of course it is. You know, the drugs and everything else and Keisha and all that.
If I had to watch a movie over and over again, it's probably Belly. I remember in '98 when it came out, we'd go to my man's house, smoke. Well, I mean, literally watch it
Belly
over and over.
Good. Belly was
but
good.
Paid in Full, like if Paid in Full, this is the difference to me. If Paid in Full, just like Menace, if Paid in Full was a white film, coming of age film, they would have been nominated for an Oscar of some level, or at least a Golden Globe. Same thing with Menace. Like you take Goodfellas and all these other. I'm not trying to say that the Martin Scorsese or whatever, but Paid in Full. When I went back and looked at it, I was like, it was just a really good kind of coming, especially Menace. Like Lorenz Tate stole the show, like he stole the movie, like he just took over. But obviously our films are just different, especially when you have those kind of characters. Those are, like he said, America's worst nightmare. Like those characters scare white folks. They scare black people too. They definitely scare white Americans.
They feel like they have nothing to lose, and that's the scariest thing when you meet somebody who doesn't have anything to lose. Yeah. They'll do anything to get what they want.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
So my birthday's coming up. What you got planned for me?
None of your business.
Or how about what I've been doing for your birthday all year?
You have been doing a variety of different things because I'm turning 35. So you're doing 35 things for my birthday. You're doing 35 things for my birthday.
You better add 10. If I'm 35, I'm almost there though. But it's
you're
cool,
doing 35 things for my birthday, which is so sweet.
No, so we've been traveling. We've been doing little things. I got some more things planned. You know what I'm saying? Like we ended it with an international trip at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Man, I ain't want to tell the people where we was going.
Okay, well, I mean,
Cut that. I don't need nobody, sitting around up on me. Stop.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? But I don't know why my wife does not want to acknowledge her age, because one, you look phenomenal.
Thank you.
You don't look your age, and then two, so I have a pet peeve when people. It's a blessing to get to. I remember when you was 35, you ain't have it together like you got it now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have it together when I have it now. So and we're still growing and learning, right? But to get to, it's like we know a lot of people that didn't make it to 35, 25, 15. So it just bothers me when I hear people complaining. I believe that God willing. No, not you.
Oh.
I mean, not about that. I mean, you oh my gosh, my wife complains.
So do you.
Nah, girl, I don't be complaining.
Yes, you do. You complain a lot.
I don't be complaining about nothing.
Yes, you do.
But I do have a pet peeve because I feel like, I do believe one just because you get older doesn't mean you have to get old, if that makes sense. If you could do your best, barring health issues that you can't control, if you do your best to take care of yourself, everything in moderation, positive attitude, all that other stuff. Yeah. I believe that I feel like I'm in much better health I am at 45 and almost 46 than I was at 35. I know that for a fact. So it's just maturity, growth, happiness, all that other stuff. And I just feel like there are a lot of people that are, even to this day or to this moment, are fighting for their lives.
Now you better make me feel bad.
Well, yeah, I mean,
don't make me feel bad.
But I want you to. It's just like you remind me of things.
But I don't do it in a manner
no, you don't. But it's just about us being holding us accountable. So it's just to get you to think look, stop saying you 35 because you're not. You 45, or you'll be 45.
I'll be 45.
And that is a blessing. That is amazing.
It is.
Obviously you've been through a lot, and so I feel like the only way God can heal us, the only way we can grow, and what we want to do is that we need time. So a lot of times I pray for good health, and I pray for time. Yeah. Because if I hadn't had that time, I don't have you. I don't have Kaden. There's a lot of things I don't have. So it's just a pet peeve.
Okay, I'll change my perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that help you? I've embraced the grays. I have a few grays, but I embrace the grays. I definitely tell other people to embrace that as well too.
Hey, so look, can I dye my hair pink?
No.
Why? My boy got his hair.
I know he does.
It looks good too.
Yeah.
We went to the car.
On him.
We went to the coffee shop, and the girls like, we like your hair.
Kaden said his hair is pink.
Yeah. You know, hey, make sure we take a headshot so we could like.
You dye your hair pink, I'm gonna cut all my hair off.
That's on you. You're
not gonna want that either. Nice try.
No, look.
My hair's been doing well. It's healthy. It's growing.
Women, I know, because you're I was like, oh, I want that, but I was like, babe, you cut your hair, I'm cool with it. But
you're not.
But no, I'm not cool with the oh babe, I can't believe I cut my hair.
Pulling, trying to make it
oh babe, I'm gonna have to get some weave or some wigs or whatever it is. Like, oh, why that? And I don't want to have to deal with that. So I was like, look, you can achieve almost every hairstyle that you want with your hair being long. You put, you just bought whatever women do, put in a bun, braid it, whatever you got to do. But I was like, if you cut, for example, I know if I cut my hair, mine's different. I know if I cut my hair back to being low, I might not.
You gonna look real young. Whoa.
Well, it's not even that, but like the OG said in the barbershop, because I was about to cut it. He's like, oh no, young fella. I'm like, what? He's like, boy, you're at the age where it might not grow back.
But so, you're at the age where a lot of people don't have it at all.
Hey, whatever it is.
At all.
Whatever
so
it
you are
is.
Blessed.
I am, but whatever it is, thank you. Whatever it is, though,
you're gonna hold on.
I'm gonna hold on to it. Cause he said, I was like, oh shit. So I because I be seeing these young dudes out here stunting with the little waves. They they had little wave things on Instagram. I'm like, what? I be wanting to cut my hair.
No, but your hair looks good when you get it cornrowed and braided and twisted and stuff. It looks good.
No, it does, but just every now and then I just want to show the youngsters. Now I got to bring out the old pics, you know what I'm saying? Show the youngsters how the waves spin, old school do-rag. Used to get the brush all night.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? My dad used to work for Soft Sheen back in the 80s. So I ain't never had
free products.
Yeah, I ain't never had dandruff. Dad had a Jerry curl too.
And your hair was oily.
I wanted one. No, mine's moisturized. My hair was never oily.
The oil sheen?
Yeah, but it wasn't oily like them niggas in Coming to America. I wasn't getting
That's a Jerry curl.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's a lot of greasy people.
You said you weren't getting off the couch. Jerry curl stain.
What are you talking
That's another good movie too. Classic.
Yeah.
And Kaden loves that movie too. I love to see how Kaden embraces what is considered to be old for his generation.
Well, I think
got a little bit of an old soul.
I think the cool thing about technology and one, we grew up in the best decade ever, which is the 90s.
Definitely.
To this point. And the 2000s was dope, though.
Yeah.
But I just think when it comes to connectivity, there's a connectivity with our generation and generations after us that we didn't have with generations before us. Now, granted, we still rock with their music, but they don't rock with our music.
Right.
And I think a lot of that has to do with just technology and just, how the gap has been bridged. And, I mean, even if you just think about, how, even though Americans aren't necessarily living longer, but they're not what's that? Hey,
they living better lives.
Hey man, what's that Jamie Foxx meme where you see him? I don't know. It's for a role, and they say, man, that nigga was 25 in that picture. It was like when black men back in the days hit 25, 30. A lot of times it looked like it was over. They look old, like them motherfuckers had been through it. So
especially if they were bald. Bald at 18.
I mean, but you still don't gotta look. But it was a different time. I think that we are. It was supposed to be. Every generation is supposed to be a little bit more savvier as far as how to move, how to take care of themselves. People are traveling internationally. I mean, Kaden is 13 and been, wherever.
More places than we were at that age.
Yeah, most definitely. So, and that's kind of how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? My dog, 26, he done been to Colombia and all types of places. I don't know if I'm supposed to say him because I don't know if, who knows where he been.
But you
know what I'm saying? But if I go down, Ryan got to go down.
Everybody with me.
Nino. I'll take everybody down. And we're going to be in a small studio. Damn, nigga, why you at the top?
All y'all living together in a small studio.
I'm like, hey, man, my son got to visit. I'm like, Kate, who mama got at the house? Oh, yeah?
And then your business.
Okay, I'm putting, that's okay. I'm by the house next door, around the corner. So, this is why my son is loyal to me. This is the only reason.
He's loyal to me, too.
This is the only reason. This is the only reason he's loyal to me is because I hold control of the gaming system. And whenever
you're a manipulator,
you do what you gotta do. So is he. Caden goes to the highest bidder. In this case, it's the video games. Because Caden switches out on me, but I just do this. And that means controllers, that PS5.
And I know you do that. So it's cool. I let him slide because I want him to have the things that he wants in life.
Hey, well,
it's all good. Because I know where his loyalty is.
No.
At the end of the day,
tell the people what you say. Well, the boy don't love me no more because he always want to be around you.
He don't love me no more because of you, but that's okay. I got my best friend.
Look, my dad is amazing, but it don't matter. If mom, when I was younger, if mom and dad had decided to go to the divorce, I was always going with mama one because
it was gonna be easy. It
was gonna be easier. It was gonna be more fun. Dad wouldn't have me hemmed up. Man, I used to like. That's man, right. Dad would come home and everything would be good, and then I do the same thing. He started looking around, and I'm like, finding something. Or I would come home from outside, and I wouldn't make it back outside because it was always something that I didn't do.
So we'd be at the Waffle House, we'd be at the arcade games, we'd be staying up late.
I have Kaden carrying Brian bags.
Yeah,
like you gonna learn something today, boy. You know, like
slave labor, child labor.
Hey man, these young men in particular need to learn how to work hard and not be.
I agree with that.
Sensitive and want to quit when the first thing they don't go right.
So I want him to be a self-sufficient adult.
Yeah,
that's really what I want, right? I don't want him to have to rely on nobody else or look for women to do stuff for him. He's using. I don't want none of that kind of foolishness.
Look for women to do stuff.
Yeah, like a lot of men do.
You don't have to look for.
Of course, a lot of women will open themselves up to that, and the men use them. I don't want him to be that kind of person.
Look.
I want to be self-sufficient on his own, and she can add to that.
Listen. First of all, when you're young. You gonna
young and dumb.
You're gonna get your heart broken. You're gonna break some hearts, but. The great Ali Muhammad told me, "Happy birthday, Ali."
Oh, I'm glad today?
It was 2 days ago, so we thank God for you, for the blessings and him healing you. But he would always tell me. Now it wasn't from a different POV.
Not being used,
but if you can't be used, then use it. So we all get used, right? It's just to the degree in which you allow to be. You allow people or companies or whatever to use you. So, like, you know what I'm saying? If a young lady wants to make my dog a couple sandwiches, you know what I'm saying?
So she can do that out of kindness of her heart, certainly. To the car. But I don't want him to be like, come in here and do this because what I expect. And no. Hey, look, I want him to be a bad man.
As long as he's not, that's not a bad man. As long as he's not disrespectful.
Using women.
But that's not using. What's she using him? For his company? You know?
Okay, Aaron.
I mean...
so you know what that brings me to, right? I was on Instagram today, and there was a young lady that said, and I kind of vibe with some of what she's saying. She was saying that how, women don't want to, have sex with a man too soon, want to get to know him, blah, blah, blah. But the expectation is for the man to spend money on dates.
I saw that. Yeah,
and that's a traditional role that has, come down throughout time, that you're interested in a woman, you take her out, you pay for everything, right? Anyways, but she says, hey, why don't both of them put that on the back burner? Put the money on the back burner, put the sex on the back burner, get to know each other. When you want to be committed, then she can have sex, he can spend the money, and let's do 50-50 dates, activities, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it makes some sense, especially if the woman is like, no, I don't want to have sex with you. Well, then you put in your 50 on the date, he'll put in his. It's equal, enjoy each other's time, and when you're ready for that next step, then you do that, and now he can be obligated to spend, his money on you.
See, I did not know water over that.
You did. I heard earlier. Who's gonna clean that up?
No, it's still on my phone, unfortunately.
But
what's absurdity?
I found some validity in what she was saying. If that's your choice to do that, some men would be like, "No, I still want to court, and part of courting is spending the money up front. I'll wait till she's ready." But then there's men who say, "I don't want to be used for my money." Women says, "I don't want to be used for sex." If you sit in that boat, then do 50-50. Because like my mama always said, walk with your own money. Because you may come across a man that puts you in a space that you don't like. You pay for your own stuff because you have your own money.
So what is your point?
My point is, I think there's validity in what she was saying.
I think there's no validity.
I think there's both sides. I think there's both sides to it. You don't think there's no validity in what she says about the 50-50? If neither one of you want to be used or give up your money or your body, then do 50-50. Otherwise, stay with the traditional roles.
I'm just glad Kaden comes to me for things. So
what is wrong with that? Okay.
I just need my boy to be
Well, tell us your perspective.
Nah, I can't, because then I gotta tell. If I tell my perspective, I have to insert myself.
I didn't insert myself.
Yeah, because you ain't had to survive how I had to survive in these streets.
I was focused on what she said.
You had to survive how to survive in these streets.
Aaron, please.
I just, I just, man, let me tell you.
You ain't useful if you're not being used. That's your comment.
I just know, like, I was in college for 5 years and I only had a car for a year and a half, and I never had problems getting around.
But some people are gonna be willing. The man is willing to spend the money. The woman is willing to have sex. That's fine. That's not what I'm saying. And the girl was not saying that either. It just depends on
where you are in life. I guess.
It is.
Because I just. I can't say that.
Yeah, 50-50 if neither one of you want to feel used or be used until you're ready to be used.
The game is the game. And, it's just the game is the game. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win.
Of course, but that's life.
It is what it is. I didn't even necessarily agree. I didn't agree with anything because I'm like, every situation is different. You know,
that's what I said.
But I just there was just no validity to that. Like I would not, you know.
You would not what? You would not expect her to go 50-50 on a date?
I mean, I'm always a gentleman, but you know,
and that's fine. If you want to spend the money, spend it. And then if she don't want to give you none, be okay with that.
You really the first.
That's like a traditional situation.
Good or bad.
But there's some women who'll give it up right away, and that's okay too. You don't spend your money, everybody's happy.
I ain't never spent no money before.
What you mean you never spend no money? You ain't never take a woman out on a date and spend for the food?
Not really. I mean,
because she did it for you, you player.
Look, all I'm saying is.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You ain't spend no money at all, and she still gave it to you. That's what you're saying. Gotcha. Cool. I got you.
You are really the first woman in my life, good or bad, that I have like spent money on. Like I just never, call me what you want to call me.
But our history,
yeah. But my point is,
to that though.
I'm talking about since
when? Since when, my friend? Since when? Since the chicken shack and the blue sweater? Since when?
No, I'm talking about after 6th grade. I never spent money on it.
I know, and those instances I spent the money. That's my point.
No, my point is that like you just gotta.
You gotta do what's right for you. What fits for your situation.
You just gotta.
I just thought it was interesting perspective.
You don't have to spend money to get what you need to get. That's all I'm saying to the fellas. To the like, you know.
No, you don't, because there's a lot of women that'll do that for nothing. Yeah. But that wasn't the point I was making, though.
And I get it. I just, I can't. I'm dancing around this topic because I'm grown now. I'm a lot more mature, so I don't even need to, But if I was in a barbershop, I'd probably be like a little bit more
crass.
Yeah, or you know what I'm saying? Or me and Brian was talking.
Crass.
Once again,
Now he said, stop pulling him in
I gotta throw my boy under the bus. But it's just
no.
So, but the other thing, this is why it's important for young. Like, I don't understand with these young men in particular and grown men. It's not. See, I hate when people say, "Oh, that's that young generation." No, because I know. I'm looking at the clock. We got probably 8 minutes. But look, I'm like. Hey, first of all, like, men gotta understand that I don't care what she do. You don't own a woman. That's true. Like, if your woman cheating on you, whatever, she could be getting in. She could have a gangbang with 8 dudes.
Oh my God.
Unless it's in your house, in your bed. Hey, you just gotta walk away. It's gonna hurt.
So if it's in your house, in your bed, what? Throw them hands?
No, you gotta shoot them niggas. Cause apparently they don't respect you at all. So you probably gonna have to shoot them niggas.
Is them not respecting you or the girl?
Both.
They don't care what they get when they get. They don't care where it's at. That's on her.
No. So what you see, this is why you don't have a lot of men. It's a problem. Men raising other young men because you got to put them on the game. The first thing let's just say allegedly I've been a side dude. Allegedly, right? In the past, my past life. I don't care what it is. You don't never set foot in no other man's house.
You have some level of respect.
None of that shit. Like, you just don't. I don't care I don't care how he could be a simp. I don't care. You just don't. And if that woman is allowing you to, then that's it's so.
Then you should be looking at her differently.
You should be like so. So it's just about respect, and then hey man, like we've all been hurt before, but my thing is, hey,
what?
In the past, like I get it, but you can't control that. Like, one thing, I think it's another thing. Like, men think that, especially men, like niggas with like with money,
they think, gonna do what they gonna do.
No, but men inherently feel like, and I think that's just from the dawn of time, feel like they can control women. They should control them, especially if there's money involved, all that other stuff, and especially not a black woman. I don't know about them other ethnicities, but like, with you can't control no black woman. Like, she gonna do what she want to do, which is why black women are so dope. But you have to just learn how to let go, walk away. If you hurt, man, hey man, it's like let's just say you live in Atlanta, like the ratio is crazy.
I was gonna say there's gonna be other women.
Hey,
but that goes to the same thing of
you just hit the streets until you get over it.
How men get so obsessed that they end up killing those women.
Yeah, and there's some women that do that too.
Of course there are, but it doesn't make sense on either end because wash your hands of it and go find you somebody else.
When I was in college, I had a dude call my phone like, "Don't call my girl no more." And I'm like, "Nigga, what?" I like, "How you think you got the number?" I like, "You need to be talking to her, or really, you just need to let her go." You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, she's not your girl no more. But like, he was lame. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was young too, so I told him to pull up, whatever. But he didn't. But But you know, that it's just like I don't know.
That's people just need to understand how to control their emotions, and I think a lot of people, men and women, don't know how to do that. Not mature enough yet. Yeah, say that to do that, to be able to see a situation and assess.
Just walk
here's
away.
A long-term damage if I do X.
Just walk away.
It's not worth it. Just walk away.
Just walk away. Like
stop killing these people.
Yeah, stop killing these people.
Stop
or beating these people.
Yeah, you know, whatever
like,
it is. Find somebody else.
But that just goes back to
it's
like.
Dumb.
Man, I can't really say what I want to say, but I have to implicate myself in my past life. But you know, I just want people to understand, like I do believe that there is somebody out there for everybody. Like literally that person. You have to sometimes go through other situations to really.
You're going to go through other situations.
Appreciate that person when they come. Now, I will say this, like, I do believe there's that true person out there for everybody, but we always don't get a chance to be with that person for whatever reason. Like I got very lucky and fortunate with you that for the third or fourth time that you came back into my life, and how much 5 minutes? Okay. And it worked out how it worked out, and the only reason it worked out like that really is because of something random that happened, and then whatever.
Right.
But you say not everything's random, but it's really God's time.
Right.
But I'm just like, goodness, if I don't do that, my whole life is completely different. But if but if I don't say anything to you in 1998, when I give you that flyer, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we probably still would have crossed paths differently. Because you was always out, as y'all say. Yeah,
but it was different though.
Like, you was all over the place. I'd have bumped into you again.
Yeah, but not like the way I was so smooth when I met her for the first time, because I knew where she was going, because I saw her like a week before, and she was in SBI.
And he was just waiting on me, y'all.
Yeah, I waited
3 times.
I saw her on a Tuesday, or either Thursday or Tuesday.
Or Thursday,
and so the following week, I remember I went and got my hair cut that morning. We were the Q's, we were promoting a party. And so I had a flyer that was going to be my icebreaker. And I knew what the direction in which she walked, because I saw her walk that direction the other time. So I just kind of intercepted her like Deion Sanders prime time, baby.
Did I go to that party? I don't think so. I wasn't messing with y'all.
Yeah,
y'all
but
was too rowdy.
Not me. But yeah, so I don't know what I said, but obviously it worked. And
and I was so kind to you. Your birthday was coming up. I said, let me do something nice for this guy.
I was smooth. But see, look, she took me to dinner and bought me a Perry Ellis sweater.
I
did. Pimping.
I did.
Chi-Town, Southside. Gang, gang.
I did.
You know.
I left my impression, and that was it. And I walked away. And then look at that. He couldn't get enough after that. Yeah. Whatever. How many years ago was it?
It was 25 years ago.
See?
Yeah. You old, girl.
You old too.
I know. I feel it when I turn around.
All right.
But no. So hopefully, we thank y'all for joining us. We're excited to step into this kind of new chapter of our lives, professionally, personally, spiritually, and then just with this podcast and having somebody so dope like Brian with us to help us, take this shit to the next level. And we here. So that's it. Support Black businesses. And I'm out.
Peace.